Hi guys, this is Breaker, and I am back with a game between, this is actually rather unexpected, two Grandmasters League players, one of them by the name of TerRanGirl, and the other one is simply a barcode Protoss. But I thought I'd go ahead and upload this to YouTube and then post it on Casted because I'm looking for more feedback on my casting, things of that nature. I'm trying to change my personality up just a little bit, and since we do, of course, have that regular fill time in between now and when the game really gets built up, I thought I would just go ahead and talk some fluff, that kind of thing. But let's get the intros going for both players first. In the lower left-hand corner spawning is our red Protoss. It is Barcode Toss. In the upper right-hand corner spawning as our blue Terran. She's also a Grandmaster. It's TerRanGirl. Unfortunately, I did try to do a Google search on TerRanGirl to see if I could get some info on her or something like that. I even searched with Team Liquid, but the only thing I could really find was her Battle.net profile, and of course this is assuming this is a she. And this is actually a rather interesting position to put a supply depot. This is basically indicative of someone who might possibly be going for some kind of proxy play, but I could be jumping the gun when I say that. Yeah, I was. Sorry about that. That supply depot placement, I'm sorry, I just took a swig on my Red Bull, by the way. The supply depot placement here is actually something that I really don't understand, because typically, at this stage in the game, I mean, you're not in too much danger of being rushed or anything of that nature. So why not put that supply depot in a position where it can get some vision of when enemy units might be coming up the ramp, or I don't know, even maybe over here, but at the same time, that is quite a bit of wasted mining time. But again, if we just saw what TerRanGirl did with that, she went ahead and immediately took the same SCV that was building the supply depot and moved it over here to build a barracks. And of course, there's a gas going down as well, and there's almost enough for a Reaper. No Marine is being built just yet, so alright, looks like we're going to have a Reaper poking around and maybe doing a bit of harassment, maybe getting 1 or 2 probe kills if it's lucky. There is, of course, a Zealot in production, and this is basically blind for both players. But looks like TerRanGirl is going to be checking her natural and maybe throwing down an Expo somewhere. Or maybe not. I don't know. This is just the fact that the SCV is moving out. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to see the second command center going down now? Yes. And the probe arrives at the natural throwdown. It's Nexus, so there won't be any engineering bay blocks going down for TerRanGirl in the near future. Of course, she is going to try and throw that SCV into the main, but that Zealot was on hold position, not going to chase after an SCV of all things, but there's going to be a Mothership Core to help defend against that Reaper and so on and so forth. Now, fluff. Blog mode. Well, I've got a can of Red Bull right next to me. I'm working on my personality. I'm trying to stay positive everywhere I go. But I mean, this is, especially after, guys, I mean, for those of you who tune into my channel regularly, I'm kind of a blogger, and what's the word I'm looking for? What am I trying to say here exactly? You guys know that I came here because I was hoping to get on 1 or 2 small events in China, maybe Taiwan, and to this point in time, there's basically been no event, and that's, I'm a little bit sour about that. But at the same time, you got to stay positive. You can't really just go on about raging about this one thing or another. And that's actually, whoa, that's a pretty good pickoff by that Reaper. So TerRanGirl really making that Reaper cost effective thus far. Stargate going down behind that for our Terran, or excuse me, for our Protoss. And that's actually, it's been spotted by this Reaper. So what does TerRanGirl do in response to this? Even if we see an Oracle come out that fails to get any worker kills, we are still going to see the possibility of Phoenix Colossi later on in the game. And I mean, ultimately, this is quite the expensive tech up to make at this stage of the game, because your income has just got such a fraction and only so much gas income, really. So that's a very expensive investment at this stage of the game. We don't have to necessarily see our barcode Protoss go ahead and kill a bunch of workers using his Oracle if he is going to make one. But we do have to see him do some damage with the units that come out of it. And what's really big is the units that are coming across the map right now. Yes, a bunch of Marines without combat shields. But, oh man, the Widowmine coming in here, that could actually seal the deal for TerRanGirl. I don't know, there's so many Marines here, and that one Stalker, the position that it's in right now, it's going to be forced essentially to, oh man, here we go. It's going to get forced against a wall, but no, it looks like our Barcode Protoss forgot to pull the probes in time. He lost a good chunk of them. By my count, it was about 8 altogether. And now the Marines are just going to go to town on that Nexus. Of course, they're not going to kill it, but they are going to force units out of our Barcode Protoss and, again, keep most of the probes off of the mineral line. And right now, the rally point is actually over here for the mineral line, and this is actually quite dangerous. It looks as though he's completely forgotten about it. He's now producing an Oracle. He put all of his probes back on the mineral line. He's gonna lose workers for this. He's got to... Oh, man. There we go. 2 more fall, and the Marines come back and pepper it again. And now it looks like finally there's enough gateway units to deal with this forward pressure by our Terran, but what's even bigger is the pressure that's coming back from TerRanGirl. She's like, I'm not done yet. Don't scare those Marines away. Don't shy them away. I mean, there's 2 of them here, and they can't... I don't think they're really going to do too much damage at the front, but the Photon Overcharge has already been spent on the front. The Oracle has been forced to use its Envision, and there's a drop going down in the Natural, which is causing so much more economic damage, especially with that Widow Mine. Oh, man. And now we just have so much delayed income. Look, our Protoss is now almost at basically 0. I mean, the Phoenix is out now, and it's going to be able to chase down that medevac, assuming that the Marines don't get the kill on it, but the supply difference, just look at it. I mean, Army supply, it's rather substantial right now, but what's even bigger is the worker supply, the income. 30 harvesters to 41, and to this stage in the game, 21 workers being killed. That means Chrono Boost is going on the next side to get those probes out. When at this stage in the game, ideally, if a Protoss has not taken any damage, our Protoss would be spending Chrono Boost on things like production, units, upgrades. And now, this is just more salt in the wounds. Look at this. Targeting down probes, not quite getting one there, I think. He probably got 1 or 2. Yeah, he targeted 1 down and managed to get it. But, I mean, overall, our Protoss at this stage has taken a lot of damage. And he's trying to return it, but he doesn't really get anything. And beyond that, what's even bigger is what we see TerRanGirl doing over here. And the Phoenixes have not quite scouted it yet. It's the 3rd base going down. When you're ahead, get further ahead. But, the Phoenixes, yeah, okay. They're going to get a slight delay on that 3rd command center. Kind of a bonus pick-off just for going Stargate Opener. But now we have a factory moving out. And, Stim +1 and combat shields. Well, combat shields is about to finish up. That's going to mean beefier defenses, and I think basically maybe any real offensive forward pressure for our Terran has kind of been stopped for the time being. And a Widow Mine goes ahead and burrows over here before an SCV goes back to work on that command center. And I think one or two of these Phoenixes could get picked off. Okay, he's just fine. Oh, no. Jeez, okay. Another SCV comes over here just to make sure that the 3rd is going down for our Barcode Protoss. It looks like I got some kind of a reply on Facebook. I'm not sure if it was my fan page or if it's my actual Facebook. And now our Protoss is trying to break something open between the Natural and the 3rd. The Phoenix is picking up whatever they can. And we just see essentially our Protoss trying to get to that Phoenix Colossi composition. But the first Colossus is just about to come out. The Phoenix count is so low. And we don't have extended thermal lance. There's only 2 sentries here. And they've only got enough for 1 force field each on their energy bars. So the question is, are they going to be able to hold off? Is our Protoss going to be able to hold off against this wave of pressure? Maybe if he uses a Photon Overcharge on that 3rd Nexus, he can. But it's just so hard to say. There we go. Stim, A move. Clicking it down. Photon Overcharge goes down, but that's not going to stop this entire bio army from destroying it. And the Colossus is going to get targeted down, and the Phoenixes and gateway units, they're going to fall slowly but surely as well. There it was. Our Barcode Protoss just left the game. He's like, well, I'm really far behind right now. And if you guys look at the supply count, it's not that far from the truth. It's 110 to 66, and the army supply is 13. Of course, it's you know, I mean, to the perspective of some players who are maybe in Bronze or Silver League, it would seem a little absurd, and especially with the interface that I have right now, it's got the supplies in 2 different... It has populations in 2 completely different locations, something you guys aren't really accustomed to. Of course, if you're watching with the Blizzard Observer interface, but I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. It was too much for our Terran, or excuse me, for our Protoss to handle. And if you guys liked what you saw here today, just go ahead and click on the subscribe button. This is Breaker. I'll see you guys next time.